may look at the title of this video and go, look, Mike Portnoy's back, the band's releasing a new album all together with the OG crew again, it's great! And I'm just looking at the album cover and going, what the hell is this? For those of you who don't know who Dream Theater is, a quick wiki rundown. Dream Theater is a progressive metal band, or prog metal for short. The band was founded in 1985, originally under the name Majesty by the lead guitarist John Petrucci, bassist John Myung, and drummer Mike Portnoy, while the three attended the Berklee College of Music. They had a couple different singers and keyboardists, but the current lineup with James Labrie on vocals and Jordan Rudess on the keyboard has mostly existed since 1999. Portnoy had left the band in 2010, replaced by Mike Mangini, and then Portnoy came back in 2023 for Parasomnia, the group's upcoming album. The band's released 15 studio albums, had 3 Grammy nominations, including a Grammy win in 2022, and is considered one of the big 3 of progressive metal, developing and popularizing the genre. So let's talk a little bit about the specs of Parasomnia. It was announced October 9th of this year and is set to release on February 7, 2025. There's 8 tracks on the album, including a nearly 20-minute closer. Prog, y'all. With this announcement, of course, came the reveal of the new album cover, and oh boy, there's a lot to be said here, but the most obvious thing to point out is that the light coming from the windows makes no fucking sense. The shadows don't make sense. What's going on with this girl's foot? Why does she look like she's just been pasted on the top layer without any work done to blend her into the scene? The light's coming in from nowhere and everywhere. So, you may be wondering why this may have even happened in the first place. Well, frankly, it comes within Dream Theater themselves. Jordan Rudess has been a giant proponent of AI, even partnering with MIT's Media Lab to create a live improvisation model, and has shown himself playing with AI-generated artwork. I really haven't seen a ton from the other band members. Mike Portnoy had generated some AI profile pictures back in 2022, one of which he's still using as his profile picture today, but claims to have never made any more since and hadn't realized the controversy behind AI art. James Labrie has had a lot of AI bots rip off his voice in John Petrucci's and John Myung's guitars, but I haven't really seen much in the way of opinions from them. Hugh Syme is listed as the artist for this album cover. He has done other artwork for Dream Theater, and it is often surreal and strange, but this has a vibe to it that simply doesn't match Syme's normal style when it comes to these guys. Normally, it's simple backgrounds and seemingly incongruent objects, but put together as an art exhibit, not attempting to really be a cohesive picture. This is actually trying to be relatively cohesive and has a distinctly complex background. I don't want to accuse Syme of using AI as part of this process, as he's not disclosed it, but if he is using it and not disclosing it, that's a wee bit fucked up. Obviously, Dream Theater is free to adjust their band's branding and vision, and to be honest, it's kind of a nod to the art from their 1992 album, Images and Words. But this is just too uncanny. Even if you're attempting to be like, well, it's a dreamy world, it doesn't have to make any sense, I feel like you'd be a tad more creative than just fucking up your lighting source with extra windows. But I digress. I'm not the only one with doubts that Syme's being magnanimous about this being entirely his own work, so I shan't dwell on it further. The next blow came when the first single, Night Terror, came out on October 11, 2024, and yet another seemingly AI-generated cover was shown. I mean, first of all, the door? What's going on with that handle? And light sources yet again make no real sense considering the windows. Now, I'm not like a prog expert, I just like things that sound good, and I have listened to Dream Theater's past work as well, mostly stuff from Train of Thought and Distance Over Time. Look, I found that one in a Barnes & Noble, don't come for me. So, I listened to Night Terror, and I watched the video as well. I was a bit worried by the opening riffs, but I'm really digging the heavier vibes, and it's good to hear that James Labrie is still James Labrie. I also didn't realize this, but it's extremely rare that Dream Theater seems to upload music videos. It's mostly tour videos and audio-only uploads. So this was a real treat to have. It's pretty much just the band playing, no unrelated stuff that would literally illustrate the theme, but it's still nice to see. Although I had to laugh aloud at a transition that was used a few times in the video. It's a stock Sony Vegas transition animation that doesn't seem to have been tweaked at all. But in any case, the video was overall pretty nice. I adore this ending shot of the band with Labrie just trying to look tough while everyone else is just kind of vibing with their hands at their side. So, the thing that's caused me to write this video is the song that dropped the day I'm writing this, December 4, 2024. Well, it'd probably be December 3 for most of the rest of the world. A Broken Man drops, and because my friend group is into Dream Theater as well, the visualizer as well as artwork is dropped into the chat, and we simultaneously cringe. Frankly, there's not a ton for me to pick apart on this artwork, other than the eyes being different, but I'm going to be generous here and think that that's an artistic choice. I do wonder exactly what's going on with the proportion of the torso versus the knees. Doesn't look entirely right, but maybe it's just because he's meant to be hunched over. Whatever. The real fun part was the visualizer, and oh boy, what a damn mess. On first watch, I didn't really know what to think about it. I was thinking maybe it was AI, maybe it wasn't, but this basically meant I wasn't really taking the music in at all. But by the 5-minute mark, I knew for sure that not only was this visualizer AI generated, it was potentially one of the worst edited videos I'd ever seen. Now, I'm by no means a professional. I do some work obviously on my own channel and some trailers for a gaming company, but I do know I'd be embarrassed as fuck turning something like this in and just airing that shit out with my entire chest. But let's start from the top before we pick this thing apart. This was made by Wayne Joyner, a digital artist who in most recent history with Dream Theater made the Alien video in 2021, which was a competently made video all told. He's worked with several of the members on individual projects as well, and damn, what a far fall from grace. He, like Hugh Symes, does not disclose whether or not he uses AI as part of his process on the site, and I'm gonna be real, artists need to really start doing that because it feels deceptive that they don't disclose that. The first few live action shots don't look too bad, and to be honest, unless you're shooting a video like The Weeknd's often, a music video isn't a bad venue for AI video at the stage that it's at because you really only need a couple seconds at a time. I'm not telling anyone to use AI, that's bad, but in a music video you could kind of get away with it. Well, if you don't suck at putting it together. Then there's a lot of images in drenched red lighting, most likely AI generated, but they're passable. Except that, what is that even supposed to be? And before you come for me being like, oh, you're just being nitpicky, it's the only one in the shot that's even in focus. And, what the hell is that? I honestly don't even feel like trying to pick apart every single illustration that exists in this video because there's just way too damn many, but I'll just pull out some of the highlights. Well, hello, nod to the album art. That makes no sense. Triple jaw skeleton, this guy's helmet melting into his gun, and a long-necked dude in the background. This window frame leaving the window. Whatever the hell's going on here. Ugh. Was there a 1936 bombing in New York? I can't find a single thing about this. Besides a poorly made AI image, there's also this sample lorem ipsum caption left in what I assume is a template border that they were using for this animation. It doesn't show up anywhere else, but do I even need to say it? There's even more I probably missed, but this was the most egregious I could find. Keep in mind that this is like 8.5 minutes long. The thing that truly frustrates me about this song is that they had the chance to do real human connections. This should have been the music video if they had only budgeted for one. While, yeah, it'd be a bit ham-fisted to actually include real vets' stories in this, they're already using their voices in the music, why not let them put their faces in front of us to see the broken men? I think I'm particularly passionate about this topic because it's affected my uncles and father, who were all drafted to serve in the Vietnam War. And while none were officially diagnosed with PTSD, likely due to good old toxic masculinity, along with the absolute state of veteran affairs, they were never really the same. It's a persistent problem worth drawing attention to, and Dream Theater are no strangers to ruffling feathers when it comes to sensitive topics. And that is what the song is about after I finally just decided to look at the lyrics, because by the time I got done looking through the video, I didn't even actually listen to the song. Still haven't, because this has left just such a bad taste in my mouth. It's really disappointing that the band's going in this direction. You can do basic waveform visualizers for free, or just continue to do audio-only uploads, and it'd be better than whatever the hell this is. I know a visualizer isn't supposed to evoke the same kind of emotion that a music video would, but this evoked no emotion out of me at all. How could it? No face of anguish in this video truly existed, and no feeling of anguish created the video. It's pointless. So, I'm doubtful we'll hear anything more before the band releases the album, which is a real shame, because this is what we're currently left with. A bunch of soulless art being the surface from which the music is reflected. And I'm sure the music is fine, it'll be quintessential Dream Theater, I'm sure I will leave it to the old heads to fight over what that actually means. But as for me, I can't vibe with it when every time I cue it up, it's got an ugly AI cover staring back at me. Dream Theater has always been a little lackluster when it comes to putting artwork to their music, because the music should really speak for itself, and usually it does. But this is just a whole new level of awful. Not just bad art, but anti-art. And like Del Carter says, it makes your whole brand look bad. What's truly progressive about just making truly terrible ripoffs instead of giving the artists of tomorrow a chance to make something stunning? If you want to be greedy about it, I'm sure there's fans that would literally donate art or labor, even though they should really get paid for that shit. And it's having a monetary impact on creators working in the space. According to The Guardian, people working within the music sector will lose almost a quarter of their income to artificial intelligence within the next 4 years, according to the first global economic study examining the impact of the emerging technology on human creativity. Humans deserve to have jobs they enjoy and are treated well in, and in the creative sector they're even more important. I just can't, in good faith, promote work that would displace other workers. And before you start quoting Ayn Rand's anthem at me about the introduction of that damn light bulb, I fully understand the need for technological advancement. And to be quite honest, I do think that there may be useful applications for the tech. But leave art to the humans. In any case, I hope that Parasomnia's music is good, even if the artwork isn't, but I'm having a hard time being excited for it with the low-effort art and videos. It simply just doesn't reflect well on them. It makes them look lazy, and in turn it makes me wonder how much effort they're truly putting into their return. But I guess we'll find out in February. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment. I would love that. And if you are inclined, please subscribe. This is kind of just my random thoughts channel, so if you are interested in my random thoughts about different things, then go ahead and subscribe. But yep, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!